Hey, what's up, everybody? How to Be a Stoic by Massimo Pigliucci. Massimo Pigliucci is a philosophy professor at the City College, New York. He's written several books, two of which I can tell you are pretty good. He wrote a book called Nonsense on Stilts: How to Tell Science from Bunk, which I would recommend anybody read. It's full of really good information. And so is this one, too: How to Be a Stoic. So, this is a philosophy book. Philosophy books generally come in two categories. You have original works by philosophers, and then you have books about the work of those philosophers. This is a book about the work of Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. With the original works, they're often very difficult to understand. You have to deal with the fact that very often they're written a long time ago in different countries, so there's a translation and context issue. Also, for some reason, they always seem to use this teeny tiny little font that's really hard to read. I don't understand why so many philosophy books do this. If you know the answer to that question, please tell me in the comments. So, with the other kind of philosophy books, where someone has interpreted it for us, as in the case with this book, the information is filtered through a person, so personal bias can possibly come through. That does happen with this book, but only a little bit, and it's pretty easy to spot. So, then what is Stoicism about? There are a few core tenets of Stoicism that differentiate it between other similar philosophies like classical cynicism, not to be confused with modern day cynicism. Stoicism has been compared to secular Buddhism, and for good reason. Actually, this book is very, very similar to another really good book I read called The Heart of Buddha's Teaching by Thich Nhat Hanh. I mean, they were really similar. So, anyway, in Stoicism, the aim is a happy life through the application of wisdom, which the Stoic strives to cultivate. The book lists three rules, I guess. Number one, virtue is the highest good. Stoics place a high value on their virtues. It's about cultivating character and being a good person. The value of the virtues rises above love and friendship, and I think this part is kind of hard to understand and easy to question. Number two, learn from nature. Humans come from very social animals, and that needs to be considered in our daily interacting. There's a difference between this and an appeal to nature, which is just the idea that anything natural is good, which of course is pretty easy to discount. Number three is, and this is the big one, the dichotomy of control. When something is happening, say something that you perceive as a bad thing, maybe the guy in front of you is driving really slow and you can't pass him. A Stoic would first ask, why am I feeling the way I'm feeling? What aspects of this do I have control over, and what aspects of this do I not have control over? The book states that it is very common for people to worry about the things over which they have no control. It's important to identify this issue. Stoics do not worry about things over which they have no control. Worrying is considered wasted energy and pointlessly feeling bad. If this sounds familiar, you may be reminded of the Serenity Prayer. O God and Heavenly Father, grant us the serenity of mind to accept that which cannot be changed, courage to change that which can be changed, and the wisdom to know one from the other through Jesus Christ. It's very much the same idea. Now, I noticed something very interesting about that specific version of the Serenity Prayer that I just read. A Stoic might look at that and say, do not ask someone else to grant you the serenity and wisdom. These are things that you can realize through introspection. And a skeptic might agree and add, there's no reason to postulate the existence of a deity at all, or to ask one for traits that you can cultivate through introspection. It turns out that many cultures through time have converged on this wisdom and some version of the Serenity Prayer. Why? Because it's just good wisdom. One of the things people One of these people who developed this wisdom a long time ago, between 2 and 300 BC, was Epictetus, one of the original Stoics. So, other than those three rules, the author gives us 12 practices for being a Stoic that are taken from the work of Epicurus. Number one, examine your impressions. Number two, remind yourself of the impermanence of things. This is to avoid suffering that comes with attachment, and we see this in classical cynicism as well as Buddhism. Number three, the reverse cause. Number four, how can I use virtue here and now? Number five, pause and take a deep breath. Always good advice. Number six, otherize. What he means here is uh, like if something bad happens to a stranger, you can like you see his car breaks down on the side of the road, and you think, well, that sucks. That's how life goes sometimes. Remember that attitude when these things happen to you. You don't have to let bad things like that destroy your happiness. Number seven, speak little and speak well. Number eight, choose your company well. Number nine, respond to insults with humor. Number 10, don't speak too much about yourself. Number 11, speak without judging. And number 12, reflect on your day. I think these all sound pretty wise, and it makes me think that I should really ought to be working on these things myself. One more note on the book. According to the author, modern Stoicism embraces universal causality, which you may know as determinism, which states that everything, even the words that I'm speaking right now, everything has a prior cause. This, of course, puts free will into the category of illusion. This also means that you can't actually choose what it is you do and do not believe or like. It's all determined by the convergence of disparate events, which themselves are, of course, subject to the same deterministic causal linkage. This is the kind of thing that really gets me going. It's sitting and thinking about stuff like this that makes me love being a human. This is something I've spent countless hours ruminating on, and I think it's true, at least for now, I do. True as well as awe inspiring. So, I guess that's going to do it for this book. I bought this book a while back, and only now have I finally read it, and it really reminded me of why I bought it in the first place. This stuff really seems to me to very much be applicable in today's world. The author also wrote this book here, A Handbook for New Stoics. By the way, that doesn't count as an edit, since that was just a pre production pause in the recording. So, this book is sort of like what you might call a yearly devotional, where you read one section each week. I've never been good at following such rigid planning. I have to be spontaneous and am not good at following a schedule, but I do see a lot of value in something like this, and I did buy the thing after all, so maybe it's time I start, and if I succeed, I can do a review on the book when the year is up. Okay, then, until next time, thanks for watching, guys. And really, I think this kind of book has a lot of value for anyone. If you've ever been interested in cultivating your character and virtue, check out How to Be a Stoic by Massimo Pigliucci. And also, check out his other book, Nonsense on Stilts. If you're just interested in Stoicism, there's another really good book called Stoic Classics Collection featuring Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. All right, till next time, see you guys later.